Hello. I'm doing my stream again. We're gonna finish up these German assault troops finally. Hoping for better lighting. Weather's been pretty crappy lately, actually, so it hasn't been good lighting to do this with. But you know, take what we can get. It's a sunnier day than most today, and I don't know if it's going to benefit us at all, but we'll see. And put out a link. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, yeah. I gotta put this on, man. I gotta put this fire track on. But yeah, today is sort of the last painting day, hopefully, for these German assault troops that I've been doing. Because it is that much lauded moment much anticipated moment that I have been hyping up this whole time, which is we're going to do the white highlights that are going to bring out all the color, that are going to make that good contrast, all those good art things that you want on your model, all the good paint stuff. I should mention, actually, there was a bit of touch-ups that I did apart from... my hair's all wet here. I'm getting things wet. Dangerous! But there were some touch-ups I did apart from the stream because, of course, and I think I called this, but, you know, cold light of day the next morning, after that touch-up stream, I took a look at them, and there were still more touch-ups to be done, specifically in like cracks where there would have been shadows falling, and it would have been difficult to see. So now I gotta fucking dry these guys because I just got out of the shower and my dang wet hair got all over everything. Maybe leave that guy to the side to note that he is kind of wet. Sucks. Oh boy. Hey, why is this not playing? Should be that loud. Let's see how we're doing. Okay. Make sure I didn't get anything else wet. Oh, some evidence of water flickage. Well, I'll play this as we play this by ear. Let's see as we go. It's a bit thin. Find a spot where. Why not so thin? Probably have to shake it up to make that goop. Try not to make that goop. Whatever. Doesn't have to be the real point. Oh, God. Sorry about that. Yeah, that should be good. So what we want to do now is we gonna dry brush this. Dry brush this shit. What else can I talk about today? I mean, Westworld's been good. This track is a remix using a Westworld track and the track it was based on. Rockin' Pickle Rick. My D&D game keeps going. And Coyotes Aegis. What have they been up to? Well, Well, they successfully defended the town, Butchertown, in the Battle of Butchertown. They participated in the Battle of Butchertown, in which the Bloody Panda Bugbear tribe attacked. And they were like, they managed to, well, there were casualties, but not major casualties. It was all right. They did a pretty good job. And now they are at South Path Camp, which is a place where they are meeting up with another caravan, and they're going to escort that caravan in areas that are still thick with, bloody panda bugbears. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bills, y'all. Okay. This is important. Oh, shit. It's a bit disappointing. Flecky. Probably my fault. Something I did. God knows. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bills, y'all. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bills, y'all. Oh shit. Too much. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Fuck! I done goofed. Oh well. Hopefully I can, whatever, fill this out. Put on more music, calm myself down. Not feeling very chill. I want to put on something long so I don't have to adjust it a lot. This makes for great entertainment. I feel like I had a lot to talk about just before I got on here. Probably got all dumb just before I got on here. Video games? Is there video games? I played, I don't know, I'm still playing Alien Swarm Reactor Drop. Probably when I work on these models, it's like as long as I'm working on one model, I'm probably pretty much going to be doing the same shit. We're going to put on something from the Stone Meadow of Doom. It's a good quality YouTube channel, turning out quality doom metal and whatnot. So stoner metal, stoner rock, all that shit. So if you want it, go get it. Look them up. Let's see. Are we gonna listen to Punctuated Equilibrium by Wino? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it. We're watching. We're on. This is live. Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty. Maybe I should just be using a different brush. I don't want to wear out one of my other brushes though. This dry brushing process is not. It's not kind to the brush. You gotta be pretty rough with them. And if I have a fine brush, I don't want to wear it out. So far, this guy, not sure how this highlighting's working out so far. But maybe I'll be happier with it when I'm done. You know, I tend to look, you know, sit back and look at these things, and I'm like, okay, I got it. Really been thinking about depressive shit, you know? Getting euthanized, all that. I'm not getting euthanized, I just wish I was. Yeah, I mean, not feeling any. Right. You know, here's a problem with me as a DM is that I'm always like, I'm never satisfied with my players. And what I mean by that is like, I don't know. There's always at least one person that I'm like, oh, they're not as into this as I want them to be. I wish I had a more engaged player. I wish I had a more blank player. And you know, it's often it changes all the time. Like it's like there's always one person that is sort of like the lowest ranked player for me, and I'm like, ugh. But you know, it's not like in my games, at least, I don't tend to pick out one person. I pick out one person at a time, but there's not consistently one person, or else obviously I'd get rid of that person. The thing is, you know, I don't know. What am I waiting for? Like, fucking D&D playing robots? I feel like that. I can quantify that as happiness, but as a fucking happiness goal to aspire to. But it's like, when the fuck is that gonna happen? I'm not even sure there's like a any interest in that market. Whatever the fucking thing. No, I can't talk to him right now. Doing a stream. Will that suffice though? You know? Well. Let me come back to that one. Let's see. Oh boy. Yeah, I'll respond to that guy later. Got distracted by a message. So, like, this paint is pretty dry and goopy already, which is kind of how I want it. I just don't want it to be, like, flaky, which I am getting a bit of that effect. And, of course, I do not want it to be too wet by any means, or else we will be messing up our highlighting job. It'll be like painting the guy white rather than just dry brushing. Here we go. Let's go with the funny dance man. Doing a funny dance. Still getting that sort of flaky effect. But I wonder if that's because of the brush. I'm almost certain it's the brush, actually. It's just like, ugh, it's really annoying. Another brush we can use, actually. Doing the wet stuff. That should be interesting. Yeah. Need to try some experiments, trying to figure this out. This is kind of a bummer because really what I don't want to be doing is get my brush wet. It's kind of out of control right now, so it might just be dead. It might just be that this brush is no longer serviceable really for anything. So we'll see about that too. May have to make that call eventually. Punctuated Equilibrium. That's the name of the album. Wow. God damn. With this. Shouldn't be doing this, I'll tell you that much. I'm just gonna work through it. It's pissing me off now, so I'm just working through it. Book it. You know? Book it. Because of this guy's wacky ass pose, it's hard to, position him. Because I don't want to press the gun into the table and fuck it up, that sort of thing. He's trying to do that. So it might be upsetting. I'll tell you. Liz, as I get more impatient with this, the more likely I am to just like apply the paint kind of white, which, as long as I don't do it too much, can look okay. So far, not terribly happy with how this is looking, honestly. I might just go ahead and switch. You know what? I think I'm going to run downstairs and see if I can get a better brush, because this is not working. Ugh. Been in service too long, let me tell you. Okay, we'll be right back. Almost tripped on the stairs there. Okay, hopefully I won't get so distracted now. If this brush doesn't do the trick, fuck, I don't know what's going on. So, start over again. Okay, let's do all of these guys again. Yeah, that's much better. Probably tell what was wrong with my brush is there's like so much resistance and it's all stuck together. Piece of crap. I'm still flicking this like flaky paint debris from it as I'm doing this. It's a bit frustrating, but so now I did a little bit better job. Okay. The good thing here is that there are sure specific parts of the model that I can specifically target, and once they're highlighted, I know I pretty much got a good job. On these German assault troops, that'll be those points will be like basically any kind of insignia area on their uniforms, the buttons, parts of the gun. It's important we get some highlight on that because you know, otherwise it's just gonna look like a pretty dull gun, let me tell you. Okay, that guy back, go back to Dancing Man, see if we can fix him up a bit. I'm all redoubled, I got my energy back. Where are we on? What are we doing? Westworld, Dungeons and Dragons? Nah, I talked about all that shit. Did I talk about Westworld? Westworld's pretty crazy these days. No shit, I'm getting my dumb wet hair everywhere again. I forgot. Ooh. I almost didn't shower for this. I don't know. I didn't have the energy. I was like, whatever, let's just do this. And then I was like, you know what? If I'm not gonna shower for the stream shit, I don't know what I'm gonna shower for. So, you know, commit myself to some actual fucking work here. You know, some actual applying myself. It's important that one applies their self. You know, at least sometimes. I don't do it much these days. I'm pretty depressive, and I probably smoke too much weed. But if I don't smoke the weed, I get fucking insane because I get muscle spasms and I get shaky hands and blah 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 blah. Sucks. Still getting those fleckies everywhere at this point. Hopefully we can cut down once we get on the other models. But in the meantime, I think we're doing okay. Honestly. Now that we've sort of turned things around with this new brush. Okay. Let's go to double belt. The two belts. Two belts. Cash money. You know what I haven't said in a while? Snapple dapple, I want an apple. It's probably because I haven't been feeling that successful in this stream in a while. Okay, let's do this. Let's do these highlights. Oh, that's shitty. Oh, Fortune Fire Knight for Death ended. The Oakshot Longsword won. That's pretty good. Pretty interesting watch. It was decent. Good to see that Grand Championship and whatnot. You know? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Who texted me? Some more of that same guy. I don't have time to talk to you. I'm streaming. I don't even have time to send you a message that says, yo, I'm streaming. Who got time for that? I already did all that shit. Thing is, I don't want to have a whole conversation about him. I think he's talking about a thing I'm interested in, and I know I'm gonna want to talk about it. So, I gotta focus on this. I can't be having a whole conversation. Oh yeah, I was talking about being disappointed with my players. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I want to set an unrealistic goal for myself of like get the perfect players, and then it's like, what is that? Clones of myself? I don't know. I don't want them to just. I know that I don't want them to just like do everything right. I ran a little experiment recently where I took the game I am currently running, and I sort of made my own little party, not to any specification, like designed to be better or worse at the adventure or anything, but just like my own little party of like characters I would be interested in, and then just like ran the adventure pretty much as far as they had gotten, just to see like the difference. Came out pretty much the same, so it's not like it's their choices in character that I'm disappointed with. It's just like there's a certain level. I don't know. Maybe it's I'm asking for something that it's never gonna be there. You know, it's like dreaming of something you've imagined is tricky. Let me put this paint. Oh my god, is that the same guy? What the hell, damn guy? Oh, you know what I love is Frisky Dingo. And something to love about Frisky Dingo these days is that Killer Mike is in fucking Run the Jewels and he's killing it, as per his name would suggest. And he was in Frisky Dingo, man. He did a voice. He was Tack Wheel. He was president for a little while. That's crazy. A lot of people were president for a little while in that second season, though. Thing is, when I am doing this with patience, it is slow work, let me tell you. And that's the way you're supposed to do it. A bit impatient. Fuck the law. You know the law. This is Chinatown. Oh, I love Big Trouble in Little China. That's a great movie. It's a fucking great movie. Big Trouble in Little China. There's always a risk that when you're doing these highlightings, you'll end up bringing out a failure on your own part to properly, file the model in construction period, and that's what I just did. I just found a fucking mold seam indicating how the model was built before it was even pieces, and that's frustrating. You don't want to have that. That's a bad look. Bad look. The thing that's really bugging me about these white flakes is that I really dislike that dirty texture look on these models. I wish I knew how to get around that, because I don't think I used to have this problem. Used to be this. God, that was years ago. Maybe reality has changed. Maybe physics has changed. Maybe I've entered a new dimension since then. Who the fuck knows? Bernstein Burrs. Yeah, if you came from Dimension U, that would be pretty funny. Bernstein Burrs. Nelson Mundula. Would that be the dimension? Would that be Dimension U? Oh, I never checked that message. I was just like, I hope it's not somebody who's gonna bother me. Maybe you started watching the stream and it's like, oh hey. Okay, well, ain't gonna hit it. Ain't gonna hit it. Ain't got time for that shit. Ooh, Nobel Prize winner. Let's do it. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it. Woo! This vocalist reminds me of a guy from Gates of Slumber. Gates of Slumber, like them. Some D&D adventures, for me anyway. Huh? Fuck. I feel like the paint is goading me into being impatient. Well, I think this stream is going to be a fucking embarrassment for me, because I think all the things that I said were going to work are not working. I've pretty much just totally broken all my own rules. Like, the colors are coming out, but I don't think it looks great. And I keep getting impatient, and then I get these splashes of white that are very jarring and noticeable, and like, I don't like it. It's okay in some places, so like if I apply it correctly, it works, but in others, it just don't. Let me tell you. Yeah. It's just dust. It's just crazy. It's driving me nuts. Trying to think back to my earliest lessons and how to do this. Oh, he's training. You goblin-faced Nobel Prize winner. What am I gonna do with you? Oh shit, was that the end of the album? Sounded like the end. Oh, no. Never mind. We're okay. We're okay. Oh man, yeah. This stream is gonna be a fucking embarrassment. Well, hey, it's like Nirvana the show. It's if you say it's gonna be a great show, every hipster in the audience is gonna be like, gotta tell them it's a bad show. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a bit of news for you. This show is gonna be a bit of a piece of shit. Set the expectations low. Yeah, I'm just sending this whack-ass white dust everywhere. I'm improficient with my paints. I've grown improficient with acrylics, I think. Because I've spent so much time doing oil-based. It's gonna be a fucking embarrassment. Cannot deny. Fuck me. Brutal. The paint, I know that as soon as I apply it to directly, it's gonna just go on right white. It's not even gonna be a highlight. And that is very frustrating. It's a game of balance I have to play. Goblin Face Nobel Prize winner. So yeah, I don't know what to like. It's kind of a case of grass is always greener on the other side. It's like I'm always disappointed with my current player group and hoping that I could get a better player group in the future. I don't know if that better player group exists. I don't even know. I think as soon as I sat down with like what I believed that player group to be, they would begin disappointing me in new ways, and it would turn out the problem is me and not them, which I kind of already identified, I think.
Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil.
Evil. Pure evil. Yeah. Nuts. Too much. Damn it, too much. Too much white. Alright, well, that's gonna have to do. Oh, wait. Well, like, I don't know. I don't think that I specifically... Like, I specifically mentioned earlier, like, it's never just one player. Or like, it's one player at a time, but it's never consistently one player. Else, like, I'd identify that player as a problem and kick them out. Instead, it's always like, you know, whoever was the least engaged that week, I'm just like, I wish blah, blah, blah. And I just think I'm, like, setting unrealistic goals for myself because I'm never going to have, like, some perfect, like, programmed robot D&D audience to play with as much as I would like that. And, you know, I never say never. Maybe in the future. But I don't know. I might be too busy with my fucking Nano Forge in those days. Just making shit. How sick is that going to be? This country used to make shit. But it is nice to think of myself as being ahead of other DMs. I don't know. DMs that I know think critically. And, you know, it helps that fill some airtime on the podcast because I'm trying not to get so much goddamn dead air. I'm pretty new at this, so it's not easy. I guess self-deprecating live stream is a pretty pre-existing thing. Like, oh yeah, good call. Well, but it's embarrassing. Okay, so here's 2 belts. He turned out okay, I think. Let's see. So this is the guy that I made a mistake when I was building him and accidentally put the wrong legs with the wrong body, so he has 2 belts. And as a result, one of the guys that I just painted has no belt. So he's the no belt prize winner, and this is 2 belts. Who really got lucky because pretty much every aspect of making this dude turned out really good. Yeah, well, it's pretty much whoever is actually talking to me pretty much gets to run the show. And if you want to see something, well, I shouldn't say that, but if you want me to pull in on something, by all means, just let me know. Yeah, Lieutenant 2 belts and Private no belt. It's true that 2 belts is higher ranked than the other guy because he has a better gun and you know, well, 2 belts. What else? What else do you need to know? Oh man, did you see that new Westworld? Did you see that new Westworld though? No spoilers, but okay, now the album is over. Let's go back to the Stone Meadow of Doom and see what we can see. Whoop. Hey, this highlight's turning out okay. This guy got lucky. Doesn't look like an abomination covered in white dust. Yet. The Hidden Hand. Mother, Teacher, Destroyer. Let's do it. Watch Tom or watch Westworld. Like, what do you mean? Ooh, man. I wish I could watch me watching. Watching a woman washing. I wish I could watch me watching. Oh, you know what I've been watching recently that is great is the Super Best Friends play Detroit Become Human from the O Tour David Cage. I don't know. Westworld has been really good. Did you see the Shogun World one? Overreacts to Tom watching Westworld. Yeah, I think I overreacted at this part. I think I gave the writers too much credit. You know what that would never happen to me for is the first BioShock. I was much less impressed with that twist than everybody else. You know why? Because I figured it out. I noticed that everybody was saying, "Would you kindly," in really weird context to me. And anyway. Oh, you're on. Oh my God. Then just watch it, dude. It's episode 5 is so good. I was blown away. Just totally blown away. But you know what else I like is Xavier Renegade Angel. So you can't really trust me. I'm a big fan of Xavier Renegade Angel nowadays. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe. I'm still fucking up. Yeah, earlier in the stream, I was playing a remix of Cream by Wu-Tang Clan that used the Westworld version that they used in the episode. I may have missed that, but it is on YouTube, so check it out. Man. Why? Because I'm so self-promoting. I'm so self-serving. I'm so narcissistic. So key spots we're looking to get here are like there are key bits on this model, buttons, belt loops, things like that we really want to have highlighted more than anything else. So it is important that we get these above all. Even if it doesn't look quite great, I mean, this guy, you can kind of see it just like splashed a bit. Oh man, it's so dark now. The sunlight really gave up on me. Even the sun didn't want to watch this shit. That's why you want to watch Westworld. You know, I don't think my muscle spasms have been going crazy today, which lately they have. So, take the good news where you can find it. Wanting to be a star. Oh yeah, well, the idea of I wish I could watch myself watching. That was more of actually an Xavier Renegade Angel reference. I'm watching a woman washing. I wish I could watch myself washing. Boo to that. Man, no more besties. I mean, it's a yearly thing, but like, God, I really need a new podcast that's just like a monthly breakdown of like what came out. You know, I used to get that from OneUp.com too, and then they fucking stopped that good podcast too. So just that I was like at the most engaged. Whenever I'm the most engaged with these things, they stop doing them. Video game journalism podcasts. I just lose interest in video games for a little while again. Not that I have. Been playing Alien Storm. It's pretty good. Okay, well, I think we're getting much closer to being done with this guy. Good. For what it's worth. Alright. So here's the guy we just did. It's not okay. Yeah, I get that, and even I was listening to Creighton Crowbar. No, I don't make highlights videos, but like, and Creighton Crowbar has a female caster and whatnot. What I want is one of like you know, just something that is like monthly with like the one up one I was talking about earlier also had I think more than one female caster. But anyways, the real point is like it can be any combination of people. I think I just need it to be on topic as like, here are the games that came out this month, and here are the ones that are worth talking about. Oh, hey, Jess. Yeah, exactly. Like, again, not to sound like a horrible misogynist, but I really dislike the Polygon show, which is all females, so like it sounds bad. But what bothers me about that show is like there's no format to it. It's just like they're shooting the shit, and I can't really keep doing that. Like it doesn't engage me the same way. Like I want to have that, not list format, but like just something where it's like, hey, here's the stuff this month that is worth paying attention to, and here's why. And like it's tough to find that these days. I don't know. Find it here and there, and like you know, a lot of these podcasts like Creighton Crowbar, sometimes they'll just drone on and on, and I don't know. You know, obviously part of it is just like Justin and Griffin have this great casting persona that's been developed over so long, you know. You still get it with my Bim Bam and whatnot. I've actually started listening to Bim Bam, which I didn't used to, so it speaks to the power of the McElroy fandom, I guess. But that is more because I prefer to have something to listen to while I'm playing Vermintide or like grinding that last fucking, not even grinding, just like bashing my head against that last challenge in Vanquish, Challenge 6, that I have probably logged almost 20 hours on now, and I still have not beaten the damn thing because it's so goddamn hard. I can get to like the last part, and I get owned. Sometimes I get to the last part. Sometimes I get owned in the first part. It's brutal. It's just one of those things. It's like too hard. I get good. Get the island on hostless console as Yeah. Well, I mean, man, Switch peasant. Excuse me. Switch is like a luxury. That thing's expensive. If Switch was cheap, I'd have one. Fuck. I'd play Enter the Gungeon on that shit. Play whatever. Are you guys streaming today, Jess? Brain hurty. Been saying that a lot, that line. Oh yeah, and I've got my Pickle Rick shirt on. Fanboy. I feel like it's tricky because I love Rick and Morty, obviously, but Pickle Rick has come to represent like the worst elements of the fandom. It's just like people who yell Pickle Rick and whatever, and like someone's literally said that to me, and then my mom got me this shirt, and I was like, you know, my favorite thing is that it says kosher pickles at the bottom, which is like such a weird. This is. Yeah, well, this is just a Chromebook. I don't have Elite Rig. My dad has Elite Rig. Uses Elite Rig, and eventually, in June, probably at some point, get a webcam and maybe start streaming on Twitch on that sweet rig. We'll see. Maybe you'll get to see me play Vermintide and whatnot. Highlights are coming out a lot better on this guy. Kind of playing fast and loose with it. Oh man, do you listen to Yeah. Man, my parents have been eating a lot of pickles lately. I don't know what it is. You get that one with the pickle stalk. Classic. What is it? Oh shit. Too much white. It's too white. His helmet just turned fucking white. I don't like that. It should be okay though. It should come out looking more like it's worn down or something. Detailing with my fingers. So yeah, Fortune Fire Knife or Death ended. The game show, the competitive show that's basically like Guts for kids or for adults, where they bring in blades and have to run an obstacle course. And Bill Goldberg from the WCW yells at them. It was a show that started off pretty dumb, got pretty good, ended quite well, and it was the dude with a kilt brought the Oak Shot Longsword who won. Went up against Kukri Man. Guy with a Kukri. Oh, there were a bunch of people with Kukri showed up to the thing, so whatever. He was the winning Kukri. He was the best wielder of the Kukri. Yeah, right? Too much white. Not enough white. Yeah, right. Shut up. Sit back down wherever you are. White man's going the way of the polar bear, and I ain't scared. I just want to get euthanized. That's all I want. Tom's Euthanasia Podcast. Euthanasia Cast. Where he begs to get euthanized over and over again. Live channel. I'm wondering what would happen if I because I've got my medical review for ODSP coming up. I'm wondering because you can write in your own report. And it's like if my report just says, probably save a lot of money if you just fucking put me down instead of doing this. Would they actually put me on a list, do you think? Probably not. Canada's laws for that thing are pretty tight. They don't want people coming in. Well, you have to be a citizen, first of all. Can't come for death tourism. Death tourism. I gotta get on that. Suicide tourism. Fuck, what is it even called? Anyway, when you go to Switzerland so you can die. That's the good stuff. I think it's like they're all about death with dignity. The whole thing is like Dignitas. Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be my first sponsored tie-in. Whatever. The whole dying with dignity thing, it's like, do they let you sort of like pick how you die? And can I die a really undignified death? Can I die like on a toilet? Because I think that actually is totally appropriate. I think everybody should die on a toilet in a prison. Everybody should die on a toilet in a prison. Tom Lando. Quote, 2018. Yeah, here's that good white highlight I was looking for. Lit up the buttons just right. You know what? I'm gonna do this a bit more, and then I'm gonna pull in on it so you can see, because it is so indicative of what I've been trying to do this whole time. All right, that'll do for now. Point to get is that oh shit, it's not. You can really see how the you can't maybe see so good, but like the emblem image and the buttons have now been highlighted white in a way that just brings them out perfectly and just makes them look the way they should on this uniform. Yeah, die yelling Pickle Rick on the toilet. Yeah, I'd do that. Critical rig! I don't know. I don't want to be stressed out. I kind of want them to put me... I kind of want them to sedate me and then kill me while I'm under. Though, I'm not sure. I feel like at that point, my mind would probably recognize, like, the sedation process as the killing process. I'm just trying to figure out how to get around my, like, dumbass psychology that's like, no! Stop me from doing this shit myself. So just trying to bypass the programming that keeps me alive, you know? Trying not to get distracted now while I'm doing such a great job here. That's a bit too much credit to myself, but I am like, now that this is going a bit better, I'm pretty happy with it. And I'm kind of like distracted when I'm doing this, so I'm not even sure what I'm doing right necessarily. Very excited for the next Westworld. Preview looks super hype. All the behind the scenes stuff has been really great this season. Actually, even like I was less jazzed with episode 2, particularly the seat. This stream took a dark turn. Yeah, it tends to. Yeah. And thanks for that. Like, I guess I gotta keep that in mind. I gotta not be crazy and stuff. And to the in fairness, to reassure you, I'm doing okay. I'm not doing anything. It's just like, it's also a major thing with my dependence on medical marijuana at this point. Is like it keeps this hazy veil between me and my like pseudo desperate obsession with being dead. Like at this point, when I fall into one of those episodes, it's really bad because it my thinking on it is compounded by all these years of feeling this way. That's like, well, fuck, I should have done this ages ago. Like, now I am not only suicidal, I am like feeling that like midlife crisis thing of like, oh, I missed, or even quarter life crisis thing of like, oh, I missed my chance. What, to die? Well, to die on time. Whatever. Anyways, but enough of that dark shit. What was I talking? Yeah, I was a bit disappointed with like episode 2 of the new season of Westworld, for example. But then they have very good episode synopses on HBO's website that I think are actually like written with or like by the writers, and it's good because it allows you to see what elements of the episode the writers thought were most important. There's a new writer on this season who is also a producer, and she worked on Mad Men, and like I have kind of mixed feelings about her based on her work and what she's written for Westworld so far. However, it's fascinating, like the new episode, she wrote it, and there was an interview with her where she got to talk about what she felt were like the most important dialogues and whatnot. And I just thought like having that view into the workings of Westworld is very helpful, especially in a show as like think you could argue it's a very convoluted show. Like, it's kind of hard. It's one of the things I think is really affecting the show is I think that the character of William is like the biggest point of contention between the writers, because I'm not sure they know between each other what his character is, what they want to do with him. They're more my friend Charlie said they're more interested. They seem more interested in the trajectory than in the motivation, and I agree with that. I think that like there's some uncertainty about William, and like I don't know. I think there's been some good ideas raised this season, certainly better than last season. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to see the whole process. Also, like the behind the scenes for Shogun World was fascinating. How they like basically just renovated the Sweetwater set and constructed trees and shit to make Shogun World just like a clone of Westworld, but with different style. So yeah, thanks for valuing my life. Oh, and you can value my life as an employee, or like me as an employee of you and a coworker, because we also do that Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I was working on, you know, that's interesting. In the article with the writer, what she said, and she said that her and Ed Harris had worked on this, is like they established going into the scene that the idea was that William actually believes that he is going to go to the beach with his daughter in the morning. When he says that, he changes his mind in the night, and like we don't see that part, and but we just see this glimpse of him like wanting to be that good guy. Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot in this show that's a bit like, hey, why that? How come if Maeve has her full intelligence capacity unlocked, how come she needs to be told to give commands in the language that the robot will understand? Like, that seems ridiculous to me. If she can just like unlock Lakotan, she should know to deliver the code in Lakotan. Anyways, you know, there's all sorts of things like that. But oh yeah, like how would Maeve not see coming that they would have replaced her for the Homestead plotline? Like if she was a genius robot, like this whole idea that Maeve has like full intelligence capacity has just like fallen through, because if you wrote that story, it would just be about Singularity Maeve, like, and that would be the show. But yeah, so first of all, when I first saw, and when Emily first showed up, and we had established that they were making the DNA pearls to make like human hosts, and then Emily rolled up and was like, "Hey, Dad," I was like, "Oh shit. That could be the host. That could be the human host. Ford could have... We all think that he's made a Ford or an Arnold or something, but maybe he's actually just made an Emily to fuck with what's-her-name. And... what's-his-name? And then in that scene where Man in Black is with his daughter Emily, and he says... I remember you were terrified by the elephants. And she's like, I love the elephants. It was Mom who was so scared of the elephants. I watched that again last night with Ralliot, and that time I was like, oh, he's probably testing to see if she is a robot, because that's what he first assumes. And like, you know, checking a bit of information that she would know that he couldn't have relayed to the park. Although there's a hole in that as well, which is that if is an experience that she had in the park, the robots would have logged that too. Regardless, so well, all that. The real thing is that we know that she is lying when she said she came to the park just for the fuck of it after getting invited, because she showed up with that weird map in the notebook that has the Delos insignia marked somewhere. Like,
when she was in the Raj, before this went to shit, she was already on a mission. Yeah, I don't know. As for his motivations, I guess we'll see as things continue. So yeah, I don't know, like, why Man in Black would do that, I'm not sure. Me personally, I would not trust her at all. The fact that she got there so relatively okay, not that he knows that she fucking fought a tiger or any of that shit. Like, she's just, she's up to something. I have a theory, Westworld theory, that she is actually, upon receiving, because she mentions getting Charlotte, an invitation from Charlotte to come to the park for the big thing. And my theory, she said, like, her initial response was shove it up her ass, but then she said, why not? And that's obviously a lie. I think that upon getting that invitation, she saw an opportunity to, like, do some corporate espionage for a competitor of Delos in some way that would hurt the company irredeemably, possibly by tracking down the signal that they had been sending out for the DNA harvesting data and everything. But that would also explain why she would like to take her father home to the mainland first, is she would like to get him out of the park before she ruins him and destroys his favorite thing in front of him. Because I think she's kind of still upset with him. And she is so mocking of him when he suggests that she came just to climb under his wing. I think she has something very opposite in mind. But yeah, there's been a lot of great Westworld content online. Like, Elle did a thing with, like, Jimmy Simpson reading people's theories off Twitter, which is very funny. Murder Teddy. Not so much Murder Teddy, eh? I think, well, like, he is Murder Teddy, but I think more than anything, what they are really focusing on is the fact that he is aware of the fact that Dolores, like, just straight up reprogrammed him. What I'm interested is in how his new virtue code is going to interpret that realization as time goes on. and it's cool that they very clearly established this contrast between Maeve and Dolores, where Maeve is still willing to reprogram robots and treat them like robots, whereas Maeve will allow a robot to die for a completely meaningless narrative, just because that's where their existence comes from. That's their meaning. Meta murder, Teddy. Yeah, pretty much. Felt bad for that black tech. Did nothing but help him. They did everything they said, and they blew him up. I mean, the murder Teddy gave him the chance to kill himself, but I don't think we had that happen. I don't think it happened by the way it was shot. And I did watch it twice. So, kind of an expert. I'm kind of a Westworld expert. I kind of watched an episode twice. All it takes to be an expert in this world. The land of the blind. In the land of truth, my friend, the man with one fact is king. What? I really like the way, you can sort of dissect the timeline between Bernard with the Mercs right now and Bernard with, Elsie. Also, I fucking called that a million times over. I knew Elsie was alive. All right, pretty good. Alrighty, I think we're done. So I'll have a final check over. It's pretty much all historic, basically. I've thought about, maybe I'll do some crazy sci-fi stuff. And in fairness, I do have this kit that my dad got me, that World War Toons. It's cartoony stuff. Apparently it's based on a fucking PS4 VR game. Looks crazy. So I don't know, apart from wacky kits, but I mean, I'm not, I'm certainly, McGill asked if I am planning to do any, anachronistic pieces or anything, and, no, not really. I'm pretty much doing the kits as they are. Because I don't want to get too out of my depth with this, really. It's I have a hard enough time doing it accurately, let alone, trying to make a sort of pseudo-accurate gambit look good. So we got this guy that I just finished up. All of these guys are going to be rushing into cover or holding in cover, hiding from a sniper that will not be shown in the model. So we've got sort of a weird existential thing where these guys are going to spend their existences cowering from a sniper that does not exist. Phantasmal Force. Yeah, I guess like the thing is, if I got like a cool kit that was that, I would probably be down. But there's nothing making me. I've got so many kits to work on already, and you know, so there's no rush to go out and get a special kit like that for me. I guess, but if my dad got me one or something like, and it was just added to the pile, yeah, I'd certainly do one like that. So. Another guy. We already saw this guy a bit. He's got kind of a special camo helmet. Pretty cool. Is this Goblin Face Nobel? This guy came out quite well. I've already shown him off a bit because his buttons and everything came out. So one thing is like they're definitely cheaper. Any of these like kits, but in fairness, so I have like the last kit that I put together was this British Desert Rat one. So I do modern things as well, but the so it's not just World War II necessarily, but why not Warhammer is like part of it is definitely cost. These kits you can get just like so cheap. The other thing is yeah, did you get a good look at it? I don't know. Turn it the other way. Yeah. This was the last thing I did on the stream. Or the first thing I did on the stream, really. And then, as for World War II kits specifically, because I've got some modern, but I have sort of tended towards choosing World War II kits. And that is more because when I do go out and select a kit, it's usually because, you know, I do these infantry kits, but what I really want to showcase is specific armaments. So usually there's like a certain era of tech of firearm that I'm trying to show off. And to that point, like I'll get a kit sometimes that has like a rocket launcher in it or something, and I'll switch it to something much more modest, simply because, you know, I'm not really doing a rocket launcher thing. I'm doing a, you know, more of a sidearm thing or something. For example, this guy would have been a rocket launcher unit, but I've equipped him with the MP40, and pretty happy with that conversion. And again, like, I think I'd have to think about those conversions much more seriously if I was doing a bit more of a wacky kit, but and like trying to do something like that. But having sort of a historical base to go on sort of helps me clear to that cleave to that guideline. And no, they are all the same scale, 1/35th. And yeah, I kind of am a closet gun nerd, but I can never own one because I'd blow my brains out. So we got this guy. Here we have two belts. A good dude. He'll be at the head of the thing, like sort of signaling, like, "Hey, hold up, there's a sniper." Blah blah. Should be good stuff. Highlights are pretty subtle on him, but you know, works out well. Good old two belts, yeah, and the no belt prize winner. Where did I leave him? Is Goblin Face the? I think Goblin Face is the no belt prize winner. Oh, here he is. Yeah. Here's old no belt prize winner. Yeah. Oh, geez, I wish I had a belt. I think he took it from this guy. I think it was like a fucking power move. Because this guy has kind of like an old goblin face. Oh, he took my belt. Oh, jeez. Oh, come on, man. Come on, give me my belt back. No, I have to lead the army. I've even got a better gun than you. Ha! Yeah, see? That'll be in the highlight reel. Man, I've really been enjoying the Gil and Gilbert highlight reels. Those have been good. Some good quality. And finally, we have this dude who, again, probably due to some terrible mix-up I made when I was building these guys, it's just in the wackiest fucking pose. And he's going to be, like, just sort of barely scooting into cover with the rest of them. And, yeah. That is the next time you see these guys, I'll hopefully be doing them, putting them on a base. Should be pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, my friend Spencer ran Sugar Thane's Sanctum at his workplace, and I think they ended up turning like is like the Goblin Translator outside the candy dungeon. Like they basically turned him into like their like they basically press ganged him and then like made him do everything for them. Like made him jump in the candy pit and then he managed to escape the giant worm. And like there's all this really funny stuff like one of the players was like a CERN physicist, like fucking Large Hadron Collider shit. And like one of the first things he said was like, "There's probably a secret chute to the core in the candy pit." And I'm like, "What? Am I secretly a genius?" That's awesome. At least they're taking care of him, you know? Anyways. Oh, no! Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Phew, I thought he was going to eat it. Sorry, I freaked out all of a sudden. Okay, well, that's really awesome. The other thing to know is that goblins will eat most creatures, but not cats, except out of spite if it's a really hated cat, because goblins are naturally allergic to cats. But yeah, I think that is it for our stream today. I think we did all right. And the album that I was listening to just ended. I got a new subscriber named Rick. Sounds like a big idiot. Man, he does love that fucking grapefruit. I like that. And yeah, I'm joking. JK's all around. JK, just JK. Yeah, take care, guys. Have a good one. Hope you enjoyed.